What's up, y'all? It's Jessie. I'm filming my June TBR in a way I've never done before. I'm using tarot to pick which books I'll be reading this month. This is going to be my very first time ever participating in the Tarot Readathon hosted by Deja. I cannot wait. Deja is not the only host, but she is the original creator. There are multiple teams, but I have decided to be on Deja's team, which is Cups. Let's pick some cards together. I'm picking this one. It says Ace of Pentacles. I might need y'all's help with this, but I watched multiple announcement videos and I'm still a bit confused, I'm not gonna lie. I just pulled the Ace of Pentacles. I'm looking at the prompts that they have here, and scrolling through the prompts, I can't find anything that's specifically Ace of Pentacles. There's Ace, and then it's Cups, which is read a book that will fill your cup with joy. And I feel like
that's not what this prompt is trying to get me to do.
But then if I go to Ace and then Pentacles, it says buy/borrow a book off of your wish list and read it. Even though I'm on Team Cups, would I still be pulling from Pentacles?
I feel like that's what it's telling me to do.
Yeah. It looks like I'm going to have to buy/borrow a book off of your wish list. And I think I already know what that book is gonna be. That book is gonna be Let Them Theory. This is a book that teaches you, it's self-help, it's nonfiction, and it teaches you how to not take things personal when other people say and do things that really actually upset you, that inflame core wounds, things like that. I'm trying to be a person who lets go of things more easily, but just in case I'm doing this incorrectly, I'm also gonna go to their alt prompts. The alt prompt for Cups is to choose a book that matches this card's prompt or that matches this card's main emotion. Now, the card that I had pulled was the Ace of Pentacles. It has a hand that is holding a pentagram in it.
Okay.
Let me see what I can find. All right, y'all, I have selected a book that I feel matches the energy of this card. Right Where I Left You by Julian Winters. I like this card for that particular prompt simply because the detailing that is going around the hand reminds me of the detailing that is in this cover, the graphics that are behind these two boys, and also just the energy of the card itself kind of feels like this cover. And since it is June, I'm trying damnedest to pick all queer books. We're gonna try our very best. This, like I said, is Right Where I Left You. It is by Julian Winters, and it will be my very first time reading this author. This is an author that so many of y'all love. It is a contemporary romance following two young boys of color. Newly graduated and comic book obsessed Isaac is gearing up for an epic summer. Teen Pride is right around the corner, and if all goes according to plan, he'll meet his comic writing heroes at this year's Legends Con. Enter Davy, an old high school crush whose charming smile and carefree personality leave Isaac practically starry-eyed in the meet cute of the century. I have heard good things, and I'm excited to see what I think of this myself. We've got two more cards that we're gonna pull. The Hermit. Read a book set in a remote location. This is fucking awesome. Yes. Okay. I am very, very excited about this. So this prompt says to read a book that's set in a remote location. And y'all know I absolutely love anything that is set at camp, set in a desert, set in the woods, set in any sort of remote location. I have multiple books that I think are gonna fulfill this prompt, so I'm gonna try to find something that is gay. All right, y'all, I did my absolute best and I couldn't find anything that was queer. We are going to read We Free the Stars by Hafsa Faizal. Y'all know that I just read the first book. The first book is We Hunt the Flame. I did a video on it. I did a Books That Wasted My Time video on it because I did not like the romance. I loved the book.
I hated the romance.
This is the sequel and the conclusion to the duology. And I'm thinking, okay, well now I already know that I love the world, I love the writing, I hate the romance. In theory, I should give this 5 stars. Then multiple people commented and said that book 2 is even worse. Oh, and this was a gift. This was a gift from someone who just identified themselves as a viewer. Gotta read this. All right, time for one more pull. The Four of Swords. I'm going down to the number 4 and over to Swords. Read a book you hope will recharge or rejuvenate you. Oh, I know I can find me something gay for this.
I got it.
For this prompt, I've decided to rock with Hell Sounds by Ever Dundas. I started this book a while back, really loved it. It is told where you have two different perspectives of two very different women. One is a scientist who engineered this font. that when you read it, it essentially makes you go crazy. It is a government engineered weapon, and people who have the gene that leads them to be susceptible to the ill effects of this font are placed in ghettos. When some people read this font, it fills them with a sense of euphoric calm and bliss. And for other people, it fills them with agony. If you're allergic, you suffer, and reading it will slowly kill you. It follows the CEO, Jane Ward, who is famous and successful until she falls ill with the allergy. And we also get to follow Dr. Icho Smith, who's a scientist that has a cure for the allergy, but she's on the run from the government. And the Serifs, a terrorist group with their own plan for those who are affected by the font. One is a scientist who engineered this font that when you read it, it essentially makes you go crazy. It is a government engineered weapon, and people who have the gene that leads them to be susceptible to the ill effects of this font are placed in ghettos. When some people read this font, it fills them with a sense of euphoric calm and bliss. And for other people, it fills them with agony. If you're allergic, you suffer, and reading it will slowly kill you. It follows the CEO, Jane Ward, who is famous and successful until she falls ill with the allergy. And we also get to follow Dr. Icho Smith, who's a scientist that has a cure for the allergy, but she's on the run from the government. And the Serifs, a terrorist group with their own plan for those who are affected by the font. So I kind of butchered the synopsis a little bit. It looks like there's a romance between the two of them. And what is interesting about this book, it's divided into two separate parts, and you can read either part first. I find sci-fi stories rejuvenating. I find sapphic stories rejuvenating. So this is going to be my pick. In continuation with my year-long commitment to read books by immigrant authors of color, I'm going to be reading The Apology by Jimin Han. I am very excited about this book. We are following a 105-year-old Korean woman who gets hit by a bus. When she was younger and alive, she sent away her son's illegitimate child to America. And now that she's in the afterlife, she has to correct that wrong, or else her family is doomed to be cursed. It is part Korean melodrama. You get a lot of drama between her and her sisters. They are a hoot from what I have read thus far. It's also a spiritual story. It's also a grief story. And so far, I'm loving this book. I'm on page 65, and I think that I can commit to reading it this month and finishing it this month. Vagabonds by Elogosa Osunde is set in the bustling streets of Lagos, and we are following a bunch of queer people, outcasts, people who are not accepted and loved by society, in what is ultimately a fierce and inventive novel about queer resistance and love at all costs. I'm gonna finally be getting to Finally Fits. This was sent to me a while back, and it is by Marissa Cantor. A love tangle situation. Ava is pretty worried that she and her longtime girlfriend are not gonna be able to survive long distance when they go off to school. Fitz will do absolutely anything to win Ava back, and so she creates this fake dating scheme with Danny in order to get the girl of her dreams back. And I think that's a really messy setup. I'm excited to see how it goes. Y'all know fake dating necessarily isn't for me, so we will see how it turns out. No girlfriend rule. This is by Kristen Randall. Sometimes romance is right in character, is what the cover says. For a fat, broke girl with anxiety, the start of senior year is already enough to worry about. And besides, she already has a boyfriend, Chris. But enter Gloria Castañeda and her all-girls game of S&S. Crowded around the table in Gloria's cozy Ohio apartment, 6 girls battle twisted magic in-game and become fast friends outside of it.
So we have a tabletop game situation. That's exciting.
An in-game crush develops between Hollis's character and the bard, played by charismatic Aini Eamon Shaw, whose wide, cocky grin makes Hollis's stomach flutter. And Hollis has to figure out if she wants this for real or just keep it pretend. I'm also gonna try to finish Do You Dream of Terra 2 by Temi O. I'll be starting this over from the beginning, just like Vagabonds, but this is a story about 10 kids, I believe, who are set into space. They're trying to find a planet that is similar to Earth, and they have to grow up in space. It's kind of got Ender's Games vibes without all of the homophobia. It's written from a woman that I believe is Nigerian, and I believe there's also queer characters. And the last book that I'm going to get to for sure is You Know What You Did. I'm currently reading this, and it is by KT Wynn, I believe. I'm also reading this as part of my year-long commitment to read books by BIPOC immigrants. And this book is about a woman who is a second generation American. Her mom is first generation Vietnamese, and her mother passes away, but she wakes up next to a dead body. Her OCD comes back. There is this really messy investigation. She doesn't know whether or not she's responsible. You get to uncover her past, her mother's past. You're untangling the neuroses that both she and her mother possess. It speaks a lot about co-occurring illnesses and comorbidity amongst refugee women of color and their descendants. And thus far, my whole attention is grabbed by this book. I'm thinking about it even while filming this. I can't wait to get to it. It's not queer, but I do think I have a great stack of books here. Who do I think I am? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This TBR has 8 books on it, including Let Them Theory by, I think, Mel Robbins is the name of that person. So to recap my picks for the Tarot Readathon, we have Ace of Pentacles, for which I selected Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. We have The Hermit, which I selected...
What book did I pick?
We Free the Stars by Hafsa Faizal. And finally, we have 4 of Swords. Read a book you hope will rejuvenate or recharge you, for which I believe I selected The No Girlfriend Rule.
I can't remember.
We did it, y'all. Stay tuned for what I've got going on this channel. Thank you so much to Deja for hosting this readathon yet again, 5 years strong, and it's my first time participating. I'll see y'all in my next one.